Hi everybody, welcome to the Steckline Report. Well, the folks in Washington got together and kind of give us information as to what we're going to produce and how much money we're going to get for our production on the farm. Can you believe it? They know it all back in Washington. Just a sneak preview. They tell us that our price of corn is going to be $3.50 a bushel average this coming year. Soybeans, $9 a bushel. Wheat, $5.10 a bushel. And I'm going to come back in just a minute and tell you how they come up with all that stuff.
When I first got started in the cattle business, my wife and my father-in-law got me into it. I love dealing with the animals and being in the outdoors. At American Ag Credit, I know a lot of them are in the same business that I am. Therefore they understand what I need and what problems I'm against, so they can work with you on it, and it makes it much easier.
It's been passed down to me through the generations, and I want to pass it on down to the next generation or two.
Well, friends, back in Washington, it's the annual Agricultural Outlook Conference at USDA, where they try to predict everything from how much we're going to produce to how much we're going to get paid for our products on the farm. Now, you all know, folks, that they probably guess just about as much as anybody in the world, and I wouldn't take any of this for gospel. The only sad thing about it is it does represent some information for those boys on the Board of Trade to move our market up and down. And boy, do they need that, because they can't make any money unless the market moves up and down. Sorry way to price our products on the farm. I've said that for 40-some years broadcasting here, and I continue to say that. But in any event, I'll tell you what they're saying at USDA. I've already given you a sneak preview of the price, but let's talk about soybeans, for example. They tell us that this year we're going to plant produce 3.8 billion bushels, 4% lower than last year. 4% lower than last year on soybeans. And remember, because of the low corn price, everybody thought soybean acres would go up a big bunch. They're talking about the national average yield forecast at 46 bushels per acre. That's down 1.8 from what we produced last year. So you would think right off the bat this is great news. But guess what they did? Exports are expected to be up just a little, a modest increase. Soybean ending stocks, 430 million bushels, the highest since 2006 and 2007, up 12% from last year. Ending stocks to use ratio, 11.2%. That's a 9-year high. So friends, how do you produce so much less on so many less acres and have so much carryover? That's what a lot of people are asking. In any event, they're estimating that an average price for soybeans will be about $9 per bushel. Corn, they tell us that the area planted this year was going to be 89 million acres. 90.6 was the figure last year. And yield, 166.8 this year. Last year, 171. Good news. Less acres, less production. Total production, in fact, 13.5 compared to 14.2. Down about 600 million bushels from last year. All that points to domestic use being up a little, exports being up 100 million, and the season average farm price down 15 cents from last year. They were estimating corn prices last year at $3.65 for an average price. Now they're saying this year it's going to be at $3.50. What about wheat, folks? That's what I produce, and so I kind of watch that pretty closely too. Area planted to wheat, 55.5 million acres. 56.8 was the figure last year. Quite a bit. Nice drop. We knew that. Yield, it's going to be up though, from 43.7 last year to 45.2 this year. We are going into the season so far in somewhat better shape, so they might be a little bit right there. Ending stocks will go from 692 to 763 million bushels. That's a very key figure, up from 692 to 763. And the average farm price, last year they had it pegged at $6. This year, $5.10. 90 cents a bushel less. $5.10 average. Folks, not a great scene, is it? Everything looks pretty sorry when it comes to grain prices if you listen and look at USDA. But you know what they didn't do? They didn't tell us what the weather was going to do. They don't know any more about the weather than they do about these prices. Because quite honestly, I'll sum it all up and tell you this. it will depend upon weather to make those prices even close to being correct. It'll take a pretty good kind of weather year. Any hiccups in weather here or across this world of ours in production of any kind of grain supply, it'll make that difference big time. So, to wrap it all up, $3.50 a bushel is going to be your corn price, $9 a bushel soybeans, $5.10 is your wheat, and we'll wait and see if the weatherman agrees with that. Stand by. Talk to you on the next Steckline Report.